Hi, my name is Abhijit Dey. I work in engineering within Veritas Technologies, and we are here to talk about a product that we're working on in Veritas based on OpenStack. It's called Veritas OpenFlame, which we are going to launch later this year. One of the features within the product is to work with Ceilometer and leveraging the Ceilometer infrastructure for getting storage insights and ultimately making decisions based on those storage insights, which helps enterprise-grade storage management in OpenStack. I will also have Ketan with me. He's a senior engineer in the team.
Hi, guys.
Working on the product, and he will go through the deeper dive of the implementation. So Ceilometer is a core component within OpenStack. It's, as we all know, it collects the data from different components within OpenStack, gets the metering services, stores the data, aggregates the samples, and based on the Ceilometer data, you can have performance metrics, alarms, sort of like a dashboard based on all those insights from OpenStack. That's core Ceilometer within OpenStack. One of the things that Ceilometer misses, the infrastructure misses rather, is to gather storage insights. Now, storage metrics like throughput, IOPS, latency, these are extremely important metrics or insights from the cloud to get those data and show them in some form of a dashboard. It's not just visibility of those metrics, the storage metrics in Horizon. Based on those insights, a storage software could be able to make decision making, where to place the virtual machines, how's the residual IOPS in the system. All those decision making is really dependent on the insights that you can get from OpenStack. Ceilometer infrastructure needs to be leveraged to get those storage insights and ultimately show it in Horizon so that those decisions can be taken. So the solution that we have in a nutshell, we use the existing Ceilometer with its default metrics. We add the storage-centric metrics to it, be it IOPS, be it latency, be it throughput. And what we do is we ultimately let it flow into as a storage-centric dashboard within Horizon. And based on that, we write few Nova filters, which will use those metrics or insights to dynamically make decisions for virtual machine placement in OpenStack. So I will let Ketan go through a deeper explanation of the solutions that we have to leverage the Ceilometer infrastructure in OpenStack.
Thanks, Abhijit. So as Abhijit mentioned, we've added a few new storage meters. Let's go through some of them. Max IOPS, so when we talk about the available capacity or the maximum capacity that a compute or a storage device can provide, I think this metric will feed back into the system and allow for the placement decisions, the initial placement decisions when virtual machines are getting spawned, where to put them based on the available capacity. So this goes a long way. This is kind of a precursor to getting a IOPS capacity of the entire cloud and at an individual compute level, and then make placement decisions based on that. Served IOPS is, of course, the running metrics or the running IOPS for a particular VM. Always good to see that up on the dashboard for the tenant user to make sure to get an idea of what is whether his SLA is getting met, or for other use cases like showback and chargeback. Residual IOPS, again, important for placement, just like max IOPS. At any given point of time, what is the IOPS capacity for a given compute or a device? And latency and throughput are, of course, useful again from a dashboard perspective, from a historical charting or a chargeback perspective as well. So all this has to come together in a storage-centric dashboard to begin with, where we show these IOPS, latency and throughput in different manners. We show them as running charts, real-time charts, and not only have them accessible by the storage administrator, but allow the tenant users and the tenant admins to look at them and have a discussion with and have a dialogue with the storage admin if their SLAs are not getting met. So let's look at how we can use these metrics for placement using the Nova filters. So in this workflow, you'll have the Ceilometer agent, which is reporting these new meters. When a VM instance is requested by the tenant, Nova will retrieve these metrics, the current metrics, a snapshot of the current metrics from the Ceilometer database, and will make the placement decision based on that. So this is very important because today the placement decisions are basically made on static information like CPU and memory, but the IOPS or the storage-centric meters will add another dimension to it and be able to make a slightly more intelligent placement through Nova filters. Same use case through live migration. When a live migration is requested, the filters can now be run again to determine a better candidate for the live migration for the target, so that the IOPS characteristics that the VM was getting served on the source are now possible or are now met on the target VM. So this is another case where the Nova filter can be used. Now, when we are talking about decision making, we have two kinds of decisions that we need to make. One of them is the reactive decisions. An example of that is where SLAs cannot be met due to, say, a min-IOPS violation, which is not acceptable, in which case there might be a automatic VM migration based on a policy. Another example is the write cache getting full for a high-performance VM, in which case you would have to throttle the IOPS across the compute or across a certain set of VMs so that the cache is not getting hit so much. The other kind of decision is the preemptive ones, where you have where you look at the residual IOPS and you realize that there is not enough for it to support the new VM that is being spawned off, in which case you need to find a better target for this particular VM. And the second one is the IOPS and capacity calculation, which again applies to the live migration scenario that we saw earlier, where the capacity calculation will determine which is the best candidate for live migration. So back to you, Abhijit.
Thanks, Ketan. So we just saw how we leverage Ceilometer for getting the storage insights and ultimately using the storage insights within OpenStack to make decisions on where to place the virtual machines, when to place the virtual machines, how much IOPS is left in my SSD, and such things like that, right? So I'm excited to announce a product that we're working on called Veritas OpenFlame, which we talked about yesterday as well in our Cinder session. So it adds storage insights, simplified storage management, leveraging the Ceilometer and Nova component. And we talked about yesterday, it gives enterprise-grade storage scalability and performance using dash-aware Cinder. It also provides end-to-end guest-to-spindle storage quality of service. We have a session on that at 2:30 in this room today. And finally, it gives robust features like live migrations, enterprise-level backup for enterprise-grade private cloud based on OpenStack. So a live migration session today is at 4:15, again in this room. Please feel free to stop by. OpenFlame is primarily a software-defined storage solution for OpenStack powered private cloud. It provides enterprise-class storage, resiliency, high availability, backup for OpenStack. That's the product we are working on, which will be released later this year. The sessions, I have all the sessions that we had. We had a couple of sessions yesterday. This is the third session on Ceilometer. The next session is 2:30 on the end-to-end quality of service. And at 4:15, we have a virtual machine live migration based on a DAS environment in OpenStack. Also, feel free to stop by our booth at C29 in the marketplace. We have demos on OpenFlame and few other products we're working on. And we have engineering, product management will be more than willing to help you understand what we are working on, what keeps us busy at Veritas. Thank you.